Here's the thing nobody says clearly enough about printing miniatures. If faces and armor detail matter to you, a filament printer is the wrong tool. Layer lines eat tiny features alive. What you want is resin, and the honest catch is that resin printing is a bit of a chemistry hobby. Gloves, ventilation, a wash and cure step after every print. If you can live with that, the detail is genuinely on another level. So today, 3 resin printers for minis and tabletop work. A cheap starter that punches way up, a fiddle-free detail machine, and a big plate for printing whole armies. Start with the Elegoo Mars 5 Ultra, because for most people getting into minis, this is the sane first buy. It's a compact resin printer running a fast mono LCD, so exposure per layer is quick and a plate of minis doesn't take all night. Detail is the whole point here. Helmet rivets, chainmail, faces you can actually paint, the stuff filament printers smear into blobs. Elegoo also built in a camera that watches the print and flags failures, which matters more than it sounds, because a failed resin print is a puddle you'd rather catch early. Leveling is simple too, which is exactly where beginners usually stumble. The honest trade-off is the small build volume. Fine for a squad of infantry, cramped for a dragon or big terrain pieces. And budget for a wash and cure station, it's not optional. At $220 to $280, this is hard to argue with. The Anycubic Photon Mono M5S is the one for people who obsess over surface quality. Resolution is in the 12K class, which in practice means edges stay crisp on parts smaller than a grain of rice, and painted minis look sculpted rather than printed. The other big deal is the self-leveling build plate. Leveling is the fiddliest ritual in resin printing, and getting it wrong is the classic cause of prints that just don't stick. This machine handles it for you, which makes it friendlier than its spec sheet suggests. Trade-offs are real though. It takes up more desk space than the Mars, and people who run these report consumables cost a bit more over time. Plus the usual resin routine, gloves and ventilation, and a wash station. If you mostly print terrain and don't care about micro detail, save the money. For detail-first painters at $240 to $300, this is the sweet spot. Then there's the Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra, and this is the batch machine. Same sharp 12K class detail, but on a much bigger plate. So instead of printing one hero model at a time, you're laying out a whole warband in a single run. It also uses a tilt-release system, where the vat tips to peel each layer instead of the slow lift and drop, and that shaves real time off big plates. AI monitoring is built in here too. Who's this for? Anyone selling minis, running a painting backlog, or printing armies rather than characters. Who should skip it? If you print one mini a week, the extra plate is money you'll never use, so buy the Mars and pocket the difference. Also be honest with yourself about space, because more resin means more smell, more cleanup, and a bigger wash and cure setup to match. It runs $350 to $450, and for volume printers it earns that. Quick recap. Starting out, or on a budget, get the Mars 5 Ultra. Chasing the cleanest detail with the least setup fuss, that's the Photon Mono M5S. Printing armies or selling minis, the Saturn 4 Ultra pays for itself and save time. One honest caveat for all three: budget another chunk for resin, gloves, and a wash and cure station, because the printer is only half the kit. Links to everything are in the description, and check current prices there since they move around. If this helped, subscribe. Thanks for watching.